It's time to explore another universe. That's right, Epic Universe. I'm giving you a Disney fans preview and review of our recent visit to Epic Universe, the new theme park in Orlando, opening on May 22nd, but it's available now for you to check out. We did a paid preview day on May 9th, 2025. That's Friday, this just past week. And I want to cover with you today the lands, the rides, the restaurant, and the bars. We'd experienced a lot of those. And at the end, I'll give you my tips how to maximize your time at Epic Universe, because you're going to want to know how to navigate this massive land. David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency, thanks for joining me today. Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. Please spend some time with us today to hear about more of this epic park. We'll talk about the good, talk about the bad, talk about the ugly, and again, to give you those tips at the end. And I want to clarify how they market the park versus how it actually is. And I do have my agent, my buddy John Medro, standing backstage. He's going to join us at the end and talk about his comments, because we did preview this together along with his wife Janera, and it was a very unique experience. And overall, I would say positive to unique experience. So first off, let me clarify a couple things about what Epic Universe is, where it is, what's it all about. It is part of Universal Orlando. It's not a Disney theme park. It's actually not even by Universal Orlando. It's actually closer to some of their hotels that have existed for a while. It's 750 acres on 5 themed lands. There's 3 new hotels, and within this land, there's expansion zones. The park itself is only about 110 acres with 11 new rides. In comparison, Magic Kingdom is the same size, has about 18, 20 rides. So don't know what happened there, but that's what they did. It is just north of Orange County Convention Center. So again, it is well east of Universal Orlando and City Walk, Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, and all that. So it's not like it's an easy park to park hop. It's more like being at Disney, where the parks are pretty separate, except there's a lot of traffic in between. And again, you're going to spend some time in a car and a bus going back and forth, but it does include some awesome new themed lands, including Celestial Park, Dark Universe, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, and Super Nintendo World. We'll talk about all these lands in a second, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's also some epic new hotels right within this property. The most impressive is Universal Helios Grand, which is right at the top of the park. It's actually inside the park. When you stay there, you go through this internal gate, and you're actually in the theme park at the top of Celestial Park. And there's also a Stella Luna and Terra Luna. These are a moderate hotel and 2 value category hotels, which is interesting because Helios Grand is pricing like a deluxe hotel, but there is no express pass included with any of these new hotels that are on property. You are walking distance from these 3 hotels to Universal, but you can't pay a premium for the express. You do have to get it separately, which you can pay. Keep in mind the Limited Express is limited at parks, and it's going to be very interesting when this park is actually open, how they're going to manage that. And it will be a premium. I'll tell you some stories throughout today. Keep in mind, as you're watching today, please like it and subscribe to my Fantastic Endeavors YouTube channel, where I've covered Disney and all things travel. And if you're new to our channel, we're all about inspiring you on your next bucket list trip and epic adventure. And please leave a question for me. And if you're interested in joining these parks, we'd love to hear about it. So first off, let me show you some couple videos, and then we'll talk to John about our experience. First, I want to talk about Celestial Park and Helios Grand Hotel. Beautiful, beautiful area. I'm going to start at the fountain from, I would say, the north side of the farthest linear area, which is Celestial Park. And then we're going to pan around and check out the hotel. Epic Universe, Celestial Park. We're standing in front of Helios Hotel at the far end of the park, which has its own entrance. Recommend staying there, book it through us. We've shown off the different amenities around us. The Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic line is right there. We already got a virtual queue coming up for the big ride. The only ride in that land, which is mind-boggling. 2 of the 5 lands have 1 ride. So how are they lands? Explain that one. So far, previews going average preview day. A lot of long lines, a lot of rides broken down, a lot of rides breaking down, but it's a preview. But we paid full price to be here. And they have a lot of work to be done before July, but overall I want to show you this fountain. They have a fountain show at night. And there's a carousel in the distance. And actually the kids' play area, and the carousel's behind it. I want to show you Helios. To me, probably the favorite part of this park is this. Put a hotel in the park, something that Disney has never done, except in, I think, Disneyland Paris. But look at that. But typical bean counter Universal fashion, I have a few beers, I'm tipsy. They did not make it deluxe. So this beautiful resort with its own entrance to the theme park does not have express. So you pay top dollar now as much as Royal Pacific or Hard Rock or Portofino Bay or Universal Orlando, and you don't get express. So explain that one. Oh, yeah, obviously kind of cover what's coming soon right there. We did have some problems on this preview day. We basically were paid guinea pigs, which I don't appreciate. And I did make some comments in the video that we'll address more coming up. I do want to bring John on to comment because I think this is a shining part of the theme park is having this hotel experience. Mind-boggling the decision to keep out the express pass and to have it as expensive as it is, but it is pretty beautiful. So John, give us a comment here about Helios Grand, Universal Helios Grand Hotel. I'm sorry, Celestial Park is not a land. It has one ride that was closed, but it's actually basically by a different land, How to Train Your Dragon, which is more themed to that land. So I don't know how they're calling a hub of an area.
I have no idea.
A themed land.
I have no idea. Honestly, it's a gateway to a gateway is what it is. To me, it's just a lot of space. It's a lot of openness. No, not really much to it. And I'll get into this later, but there's definitely room for improvement. There's definitely a lot more things to come with this land, with the surrounding areas. But yeah, overall, with one attraction, no, two attractions, my apologies, there's not really much there.
Yeah, I mean, Celestial Park is a hub to get around. It makes the park easy to navigate. So moving on, we are going to cover now, to me, the more themed lands, and we'll talk about the logistical layout of the park afterwards. My favorite I'll cover first is Dark Universe. I think this is unique to anything I've seen in theme parks. John can comment later as he's been more around the world. And I would want to cover first thing. You hear about these portals, these amazing entries. And during the day, it's okay. But at night, they really come to shine. And you'll see John here starring in this video here about the portal to the entrance to Dark Universe. Leaving Dark Universe. Helios Hotel. That is a portal. You just left Dark Universe. Amazing. The best land here by far in Epic Universe. Come here just for this land. It is that impressive. It is on your left as you come in from the theme park entrance. On your right, I saw Jason at Grand Helios. This is classic monsters, Frankenstein, Wolfman, two major rides, and then a lot of experiences, amazing steakhouse, which I'll cover in a minute. But I thought it's a very well done land, and to give you more of a taste. And we did do the one marquee ride, which I'll talk about in a second, and it was very, very impressive. But first off, I do want to show you more of the land during the day as we walked in. And right away, I said this decor is absolutely, absolutely amazing. It's definitely something worth experiencing. So this is right in front of the backdrop of the Frankenstein Castle and the Frankenstein ride. Give you an idea of the layout and the theming of the land. Dark Universe, Frankenstein ride. Epic Universe, first time here, preview May 9th. Park's not fully operational yet, but getting there. But this is my favorite land so far. And my second land so far. More to come. The theming's fantastic. The Frankenstein ride is amazing. It has the Harry Potter Forbidden Journey ride system. but to me, much more intense and much smoother, and a much better story. Depends if you're a Harry Potter fan or not. And here's a Curse of Frankenstein coaster. Not open yet, not even testing it yet. Looks very cool. More to come from Dark Universe and Epic Universe. Ho, 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 ho. Very impressive, John. I mean, we walked in there, we were both like, wow, you kind of hopped in the coffin that's in there. And we went back at night. We enjoyed it so much. We tried to do the Frankenstein ride again. So the one big ride that we did do that was open was Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. Definitely one of the best queues I've seen of any rides I've been to, both at Universal and Walt Disney World and SeaWorld. Absolutely impressive. The other one wasn't open, and they weren't even testing it, which was half our problem with that day. Two of the big rides were down, or even more than that, and they weren't even like attempting to test the rides. So what is this preview for? Anyways, and we can argue about that all day with what they're actually doing. But John, what do you think of Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment?
One of the most immersive experiences I've seen. And I mean, Universal really knocked it out of the park with this one. They, from start to finish, when you walk through the portal, you are immediately taken into the Dark Universe. And it's the coolest thing ever. Nighttime, daytime, it really doesn't matter. You still get the full experience. I think what really brought it all together for me, though, was the amount of effort and just genuine excitement the cast members had. Team members had to
team members.
Yeah, team members to actually be in that land and to actually really take on the role inside of Dark Universe, no matter what it was. It was no role was too big or small for them to actually get excited about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well done. Moving on, I want to talk about the food, and I totally agree. And I did hear about the queue. I don't really watch ride videos before I go on them, but I did hear about the queue and definitely lived up to all the expectations. Do want to talk Das Universe, Das Steakhouse in Dark Universe. This was cool. We didn't eat here, but it was a beautiful theme. I do want to show this off real quick. Dark Universe, Frankenstein ride. Wrong. Das Steakhouse, Dark Universe, Epic Universe. First time here. It's quiet because it's a preview, plus everyone's on rides. May 9th, 2025. Everything's mobile order. You can't order just a beer here. It's beer with food. There's a bar across the way we're going to next. Very cool theming. Very gothic and dark. And as we get your drinks, beer is poured back at the ordering area, but again, that's with your meal. Very cool theming, right in line with the theming of the land. Definitely check it out. Moving on, I want to kind of get through these lands, and we'll talk about my reactions and how to maximize your time when you do visit Epic Universe, ideally sometime in the fall. Harry Potter, this is the third Harry Potter land. If you're not a fan of Universal, you should know that there are two amazing lands in Universal Orlando. That's Universal Studios, Diagon Alley, and Hogsmeade over in Islands of Adventure. It really changed the landscape of theme parks in Orlando when they were opened up. This is their third land, and I will say the theming is Diagon Alley East. Yes, different time period, 1920s French. I wasn't as impressed as I was with Dark Universe because to me it was a mirror of something else already done. But the ride did live to expectations. I don't often cover ride queues, but I refuse to take any footage of Diagon Alley East. So I do have a little bit of the queue, which is a very impressive ride you must do. But keep in mind the queue holds like 6 hours of people. So just be forewarned, and there is no express pass for this queue, for this ride. Yeah, let's see. Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. You've seen the movies. Very well done. This is actually a theme park ride. I don't often show theme park ride videos, but I show this one. We're sitting in our queue, virtual queue, waiting to get on. And these are different offices of the Ministry of Magic, the later Harry Potter movies, 5 and up. Awesome. This is green tile in the hallways. I'm sure you've seen the video. And then there is many VIPs that bear up ahead. Level of detail is amazing. There's the First Minister. And more offices behind. There's actually stuff going on back there. Look close. It's animated. Waiting for the ride. Amazing. Amazing queue. Epic Universe here has done a great job on this ride. We'll cover the land later. So the level of detail in that queue, again, this is just part of the ride as you go through about halfway through. I would say maybe a little less, a little more than halfway through. It is impressive. I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I didn't read the books. I only saw the first few movies. I am impressed with the lands in the current Universal Orlando parks. Very impressed with this ride. Again, not as impressed with the land, although we made a great restaurant there, a great French restaurant. But John, that ride, I remember you and Janera had a great time. You're kind of telling me what the queue is about because I have no clue what's going on with the story theming.
I don't know, very immersive. I mean, probably, in my opinion, probably the most immersive of all of the Harry Potter rides so far. Of course, everybody, the castle tour alone was great, but what's cool is in this one, you can actually tour the queue alone in this one too, just because they want you to experience it, even if, you don't actually get a virtual queue for the ride.
Yes, they were in the preview time allowing you to experience the aquarium, the queue. I don't know if it's going to happen after opening day, May 22nd, but if you want to take a chance and buy a preview ticket and check it out, you can check out the queue. This was virtual queue only. There's a queue that we're talking about. Then there's a queue you get with your app. We had real trouble 11 o'clock. I don't think they gave any out. And then at 3 o'clock, we did get success thanks to John's wife, Janera. He did very well, and she did get us spots. And as we argue with guest service about some other things, we also got a fast pass for another ride, which we did end up using. We'll talk about in a second. Moving on from Harry Potter, very immersive. By the way, even though those windows, there's stuff going on you could check out. And a lot of people were just kind of hanging out there after the ride, which you're allowed to do. There's plenty of space. It is so huge. And it's up there at Bank of Gringotts. It's kind of like Bank of Gringotts on steroids, but a whole different story. So definitely worth enjoying. It's going to be an epic ride for time memoriam to come. Next up, I do want to move lands to an area called Mead Hall is where this video starts. That's just where I decided to start it. And it goes into, which is really cool, by the way. They have mead, they have beer. It's a quick service establishment. All the food we saw is all mobile order and quick service, but with tables. That's the way they're doing things. Universal is very reliant on technology. So this kind of gives you an idea of what the theming of this hall is. This is How to Train Your Dragon Land, Isle of Berk. There's a series of 3 movies out there and some other short films and a big feature production coming out this year. So check those out. I'm not familiar with the movies, but the land's very cute. It is very well done, and it's very hot. Their use of wood on the decking on an early May day, which is nowhere near the hottest time to be there, I thought this was a really misstep by Universal. Mm-hmm. It is very hot on these wooden walkways, and I don't know what went wrong there. But they're going to learn. They're going to change things. But here's a little bit. It's going to run for a little bit. It's going to run through Mead Hall. Then we're going to walk out and kind of check out some of the rides in the area. There are 3 rides in this land. And great theming to How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. Isle of Berk, How to Train Your Dragon Land. Yes, a table service, table sit down, quick service place. Best part of it is the Mead Hall Bar. Serve mead and definitely get the dragon's milk. Ooh, it's strong. Best deal I've ever seen, dragon milk. That's like $9 a bottle. It was $13 here for this monster cup, 20-ounce pour. So enjoy it while it lasts. It's strong, 11%. Walk through the center here. We're going to walk out to the land, Isle of Berk. Check out 3 previous movies, some other short movies, and a movie coming out this summer. How to Train Your Dragon. Thank you. Appreciate you. That's good beer. Here it is. Nice warm and steamy early May day. Epic Universe. Wave, guys. Woohoo! We're in How to Train Your Dragon Land.
Then to your right, How to Train Your Dragon.
And of course, the most important ride here, your restrooms, is How to Drain Your Dragon, if you're a guy. And they got amazing animatronics in this whole park, especially this land. There's dragons everywhere. It is bright out here. Hey, John, speak of draining your dragon. That's not water, that's pure White Claw right there. Here's their water ride, Fire Drill. They have 3 main rides here. Been a preview day, been a struggling day with rides. Some just are never going to open, some have been open, not been open. The virtual queue for the Harry Potter ride sucks. It doesn't really work. You do have characters everywhere, which are awesome. It's preview. We're still 13 days from opening, 2 weeks from opening. Look at that guy. That is so cool. The coaster here looks awesome. The other rides are like, yeah, okay, looking. And there's the meat hall. Look at that. Fantastic. The best part of the land. Yeah, that was just awesome. I really enjoyed the land. Again, don't know much about How to Train Your Dragon, but it was good theming. But of course, the joke never got old about how to drain your dragon.
While this video is playing, I actually got a call from Universal Creative. They want to put me on the payroll now because of that. So thanks, appreciate that.
It was the best ride there that day because we didn't go on any of the rides. The water ride was a bit of a line for what it was. There was this gliding ride that was breaking down right in front of us. Then we got in line for the bigger ride. If you remember the name of it, John, I didn't put it in the banners here, but that one broke down, kept breaking down as we were waiting for it, and we just got tired. So we did not experience any rides at that land, and that's how it goes with technical rehearsals, as they say.
Yeah, we definitely did our best, though.
But I did. Go ahead, John.
No, I was saying it's 3 rides there. I mean, absolutely agree. Dragon Racers Rally, Fire Drill, which is the water ride. Ironic because, like Dave said, it's like the hottest land there without the shade and anything. And then Hiccups Wing Gliders, which is the roller coaster. Definitely did our part to try to wait for that, but then of course the ride kept breaking down. So
yeah, before the show, I was watching a Hiccups tour from another vlogger out there. Like, where's that? Oh, it's at the end of the ride. I didn't go on.
Yeah.
I will give you a quick preview. I did take a video of the Fire Drill ride that wasn't in this video here, but it is pretty cool looking and it's worth doing. Definitely something to keep you cool on a hot day. How to Train Your Dragon, Fiery Drill water ride. Not a wet water ride, but a fun water ride. Semi-wet. Cool new land, Epic Universe. Cute ride. We actually did eat in this land in the, if you remember the name, John, it was right next to that Fiery Drill ride.
Spitfire Grill.
Thank you, Spitfire Grill. It was very good. They have nice bowls there, and they'll give you a cup for water. And they have seating right across the way. We'll see how it goes in a more crowded day in the park, how that works out. But overall, I was impressed with the food and restaurants there.
Absolutely.
Moving on to the last land we're going to cover today, my least favorite land. John may beg to differ. I don't get Super Nintendo World, but I get it's for kids. It'll do very well. It's very interactive. You have these wristbands that John and Janera had. I got to tell you, that was the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my life. This was the noise and stairs everywhere, stone stairs. So do not ever go in. Once you've been through it once, go on this big escalator. You go up to it and you go down. I don't have that video. I'm going to show you a video of how to go into land quickly and skip all that and stay on the ground level. Because the backside, Donkey Kong Country, is pretty cool theming. It's all about the one coaster. But the kicker part is, in this land, there is no booze, no adult alcohol anywhere. I believe that's part of the licensing requirement of Super Nintendo. I don't know. But John had been to Super Nintendo in Japan, Osaka. And that's the first land we experienced. And I'm like, oh, my God. We did do all 3 rides there. I don't know how he pulled that off. And I would say the little one, not worth it. Yogi's Adventure. The Mario Kart is fun, worth doing. Don't wait too long. And then the coaster is pretty cool, a little jerky to start. But overall, it was pretty cool land if you're into that. But here's how to quickly access Super Nintendo World and then go right to the Donkey Kong and back. First off, I do have this a continuous video I want to keep together for you guys. We are going to comment about the use of space. They have some big open areas and nothing's happening there, but these lands are not that big. It was very mind-boggling, but here's just a quick kind of idea of what's actually happening at Epic Universe. We are reviewing their use of space, and I don't know. What is this space for? Maybe big shows later? Have you seen a space this big anywhere in a Disney theme park worldwide that has no use? Maybe light show at night? They have 750 acres, but actually the park alone is 110. And yes, they can expand to Wicked, we've heard. But we're just being, what we do. We're travel agents, so we're critical. And that's a lot of space for a kid's carousel that will always have a 10-minute wait. I don't know. Discretion on this one. I'm pretty sure you could put a small land in here, maybe in another Nintendo World 2. We're off back to Nintendo World for one sole reason. The only reason you should go as an adult without kids. If you have kids, they'll love it. Not going to dispute that. But we're going back. We're going back. For the roller coaster, we got passes. We complain to guest services. Always complain to concierge. If you have any issues with the park, because they hooked us up with a Donkey Kong coaster. and another ride we'll do later. We're excited. But go in the back way. We'll show you right now. So, John, where is the back way to Nintendo World here?
Straight this way.
Right this way.
The portal itself.
Do not go in that portal if you've been here before with the escalators. It's cool if you haven't been here before. If you've been here before and you're going direct to the coaster, which has an express line. No, it doesn't. It's what's yours. It doesn't. I'm sorry. You come in this way. By the way, cool fountain with Mario. So here's what you got. Dave's tip, first day, walk this way. This is the exit. Because there's a lot of stairs in this land. I don't know what's up with it. I don't know what's going on. But a lot of stairs in this land. So stay tuned.
Very majestic walls.
So after you've seen the land with your kids, and you've done the loud noises up top, you come back just for the coaster return, or it has a single rail line. You come back this way.
Hopefully this is not just a technical rehearsal entrance.
We shall see. I think it has to stay open. So you enter on the bottom floor of the land. You plug your ears. Oh, it's wonderful. Wow. Amazing. I played Donkey Kong as a kid and I don't get this land. It's so annoying. That's just me. I'm Dave. But see this? Stick to your right. You got bathrooms on your right. How to drain your dragon. And then your goal is this. That's the only reason to come to this land if you're over 21 and don't have kids. And they're going to drain their dragon. And then I'll walk through and show you as they're doing that. Get more crowd in here. We had less crowds this morning. So initially the land is so small. What's going on here? I did the Yoshi ride. Not worth waiting for. Don't bother unless you have kids again. Woo! This part's cool. Although the Kong place is all frozen. It could be a regular bar. Again, Universal is about adult. Disney got that right. Coaster's running. Been a challenge all day, but this is why you're here. This whole back end of the land is just about this one coaster that goes on both sides of this area. Looks awesome. We're doing it next. To say the least.
Yeah, and if I don't see a banana daiquiri there, I think Universal really missed the mark in that.
It's amazing about the bar that's in there. It's not a bar. It's quick service drinks, frozen drinks. They were like $19. We thought they were alcoholic. Then we asked some team members. They said no booze in Super Nintendo World. So that was Super Nintendo World. Again, I'm kind of making light of the situation. My biggest qualification in that world is if you have kids. Yes, it'll be great. If you don't have kids, go in that side entrance and go right to Minecart Madness. That Donkey Kong Country is pretty much the ride. There's not much else there except for that quick service frozen drink, non-alcoholic drink area. I get it. It's Mario Brothers movies were huge. It's huge in Osaka. There's a smaller version there. But that coaster is not in the other parks around the world. So that is unique to Nintendo World and Epic Universe. And there is no express pass for that. I'll talk about that as I go through our closing tips. So what are our takeaways? John, Epic Universe preview takeaways. First off, for me, excellent theming. They did a great job building the park as far as the way it looks in the lands. The restaurants were top notch. We did the mobile service at the grill, Spitfire Grill. And then remember the name of the restaurant in the French restaurant in Harry Potter Land?
Ooh, if I could pronounce it, I'd tell you what it is.
It was too late in the day after too many Dragon Milks. By the way, best deal alcohol ever in Orlando. A Dragon Milk for $13. That's like a $10 single beer in a package store. So
yeah.
To have a 20 ounce for $13, hopefully they won't catch on to that. Overall, I found the park easy to navigate with excellent signage. Overall, it was kind of easy to bounce around. The way the lands are spread out, I just think the lands are too small for what they kept bragging about, all the real estate they purchased. And there's a lot of expansion room left. There's a lot of hotel expansion room left. I looked at a map today, which I didn't want to show here, and it kind of shows like how this acreage is being used. I mean, a ton of the acreage is backstage. Because Disney has these 100-acre parks, but they have all this 25,000 acres to deal with, so you don't hear about all that. But when you buy 750 acres in the middle of commercial central by a convention center, that space gets eaten up by parking lots, by highways, by, then future expansion. So it's 110 acres, and we'll see. But they make it easy to navigate. I wish the lands were bigger. There's some inherent logistical issues with one-way entrance portals. I can envision a day like a July 4th weekend where they actually have someone with a counter outside the portals counting people. They're going to have to kick. They're going to have to. I mean, it's going to be a fire hazard. I mean, Disney is very good about their flow of space and flow of people, and these lands are not very big, John. So I don't know. Even the Harry Potter land spreads out a little bit, and Dark Universe has that back. Fireblade's Tavern, by the way, is absolutely fantastic. We covered that in Drinks Around Orlando and John's Facebook group. Check that out. My video there of the Blades Tavern going on. Yeah. I don't want to make this a bar review today. We'll do a separate bar review later. But again, that land is the best, and the best bar and the best everything. But even that is tight to get around the ride. And when you're first there, you don't know to get around the ride. So I don't know what they're going to do.
No, I mean, you did say it. I mean, you heard the person say it. We'll touch on this probably later at some point, but they want to use that middle space in Celestial Park as more of like a public space. So their version of crowd control has to do something with that. I mean, like you said, someone outside with a clicker or just cutting people off in general. But they're going to have to figure something out. Maybe that's what all that unused space is for.
Yeah, people to start a cattle prod.
Absolutely.
And I was surprised when we counted the rides, and I'll say 10 plus an asterisk because 11 is like this carousel we didn't go on. It's probably nice. I'm sure I would go on it next time. 11 rides, a lot of them breaking down. When you see our tips, you'll know why I say wait, because we met people who bought an express pass for $212. $212.
Too much.
And they only had 6 rides to pull from because the Curse of the Werewolf and Dark Universe was down, and then Stardust Racers was not working. 2 other ones went down. So, and then 2 weren't included. 2 were not included. So they had 6 rides to choose from, and that was a struggle for them. And there's no express access for 2 of the marquee rides, which is the Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic, and then the Minecart Madness. Mm-hmm. So that is just how Universal does things sometimes, which they may change. Keep in mind, everything we're saying now is during the preview time. It is still, 11 more days of previews, then opening day, and then after that, things are always open to change.
And as of right now, there are certain attractions that are closed until opening day as well. Keep that in mind. Like Wizarding World of Harry Potter is down right now.
That's right.
And then amongst other things, they also are doing. While we were there, remember they were doing the filming while they were there. So a little bit more videography. So who knows what's going to go down between now and opening day.
Yes, I did see that before our preview. We had the last day before Harry Potter went down until it was 5-6 days down, I think, for filming, because the ride seemed to be running okay. They weren't running all the stalls. Our wait time was 2 hours, even though we got a virtual queue, which isn't good. So maybe it's more about repairs. I don't know. So how do you maximize Epic Universe? Here's our experience again from our one preview day that we went. This is based on what we think of the park and how you can help yourself going there. First off, wait till September. September is a great time for theme parks, fairly slow, even late August, because in Florida, kids go back to school in mid-August, so late August is good. Yes, it's going to be hot, but by then they'll have their kinks out. By then they'll get the crowd flow figured out. And by then they'll get these rides running, because right now, to me, they're not ready to open. Not at all. Not at all. So, and they're going to open 11 days. And listen, today's PR, they're not going to delay it. They're going to just do it and deal with it. And I do know that I looked online, the paid preview days are not helping their cause right now. It's just not. Because I tell you, like us, we were paid guinea pigs, and we had a lot of negative things to say about the park. And a lot of it had to do with them being not fully operational. But I get it. They weren't getting the attendance they wanted from their previews because pass holders are holding out, and there's no foreign tourists right now in Orlando. It's just how the world is politically right now. So they basically need more people to test out these rides, but to charge full price, I paid $148. You paid a hair less because you're a pass holder. Who knows? But keep in mind that right now, and also wait if you're a local or in Florida, because I believe they're going to open this up to pass holders without this summer influx of foreign tourists. And Universal is 60% pass holders, Universal Orlando, where Disney's 20% pass holders because they're more of a destination. I think that's going to flip soon. But right now, pass holders are not allowed into Epic Universe, and there's no pass being sold. Again, wait. Stay at Grand Helios. Enter park early. You do have extra early hours. Even we stayed at Dockside and Suites. We'll talk about later. Endless Summer is a part of this Wet and Wild area. They built all these new hotels, very affordable suites, and we had early entry. That was awesome. But stay at this beautiful new hotel. Looks wonderful. Excellent bar up top, Bar Helios. And take advantage of the early entry. And knock out Minecart Madness early because it has no express pass. And Harry Potter has a virtual queue for now. If the virtual queue of that is gone away, definitely go to Harry Potter first. Enjoy that queue, and you're going to wait, but it'll be semi-worth it depending on the wait. Ideally, it's not 6 hours. Purchase Express Pass. This is a one-time thing and probably worth the investment. If you wait, I would not purchase Express right now for a good months in the summer, unless you hear stories, and there are bloggers who cover ride availability and rideability of rides. Make sure that these rides are running before you buy an Express Pass. And I would do a VIP tour. I'm thinking about doing a VIP tour myself. I'm booking one for a client soon. And Universal does VIP tours much better than Disney. I didn't write it down here, but definitely book a VIP tour. Keep in mind, they're already sold out for the first few months the park's open for VIP tours. For private VIP, there is some availability there. I have clients looking at June, and pretty much all the days for private were sold out because Universal has those products. And John and I can book those for you. And then my last tip, and I'll let John chime in, is spend the day. No need to park hop on the first visit because you're going to waste time going back and forth. It says 15 minutes when I checked my Google Maps, but that's without traffic. And this is in a high traffic area. It's not like Disney that there's only limited parts of bottlenecks at Disney. That's how they designed it, and they own the land. Universal does not own the land at all between Epic Universe and Universal Orlando. And there's a lot of places that bottleneck back up, and a lot of potential traffic, a lot of construction going on. We noticed checking into our hotel. So that's things to be worried about. Cool. Hey, Mark Landers is on. All right. Mark Landers says, hey, guys.
What's up, Mark?
He's getting late. Thank you, Mark. Make sure to rewind it at the beginning, and we'll check it out. But we gave you all the tips. We even talked about your favorite spot, the Blades of Fire Tavern. And my friend Michelle, Disney diehard herself, we've had a live on the show from the park back when I held my old software, which was amazing. We pulled that off. Good to see you, Michelle. So, John, I'll let you kind of chime in here. What are your tips to maximize?
So I narrowed it down to the 5 that I think are probably most critical. Number 1, we spent a lot of time talking about the virtual queue. We spent a lot of time talking about Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry. Get in the virtual queue early. Just get it up, get it ready, because David, correct me if I'm wrong. We got in there. It was like 10 minutes before 11 when it was supposed to go in, and things became available around 10:58, or at least from what I saw. And then again, when we tried again at 3:00, we were in there at around 2:55, around 2:58. It started to come up for everybody, and those do book very, very fast. The one thing that separates Universal from Disney is that unlike Disney, where you can group your family together and just select one time, you actually have to put in how many people are in your party to be able to select. And if you take too long doing that, then you're probably not going to be able to get the virtual queue at that point. So more is better than less. Always go for the higher number. That way you can guarantee everybody will get the virtual queue. Second tip, I would say.
Well, let me pause there because John makes some good points, and this may change, and Disney's has changed over time too. The 11 o'clock one, 11:59, mine it'll actually turn blue. I did all this refreshing, and guest service told us that going back and forth does work better in her mind. It turned blue, and you're good to go. And then the tip I read online is if you have a time, you keep pressing it, even if it says unavailable. Sometimes the system will force it through. But ours went blue like 11:59. Like we were arguing about what happened. Wasn't even 10:59 wasn't even 11 o'clock yet. So they're a little bit unpredictable with their virtual queue. That hopefully will be worked out. But follow the tips online. But what we tell you, John called it, start early, go back and forth, and we really killed our phone battery playing with this. And then I had something when my notices weren't enabled. It took me out to notice my notices were enabled. So there's some quirks that they got to work through. But guest service is there to complain for us.
And
what else you got, John?
Well, we thought it was an us problem too, and we were actually in line for Monsters Unchained trying to get this virtual queue the first time. And remember, everybody else around us was having the exact same problem going, did you guys get it? Nope, we definitely didn't get it. So I don't know. I'm with you. I really hope they make some changes to that, or at least allow you to group your family together. So that way, just one person has to get the pass. So
yeah, expect changes.
You already touched on my second one, which is definitely book a Universal hotel. First of all, glorious hotels from the value resorts all the way up through the premier resorts in the moderate in between. Everybody gets the early admission. And Dave Jenner and I were walking by the Mario Land to be able to get Super Nintendo Land to be able to get in. And there's this line of people just being held, which they put, non-resort guests on one side. Everybody else who has resort goes in, and it's very easy to get through. Just show your park. Your resort ID to be able to get in there. So definitely worth it. It really relieves the stress of having to park there as well. So another one I had in mind is be cognizant of the fact that nighttime is a little bit different on the attractions. They make things stand out a little bit more. There's a few more intricate details that you'll see. This goes specifically, in my opinion, for Dark Universe. There were so many things that just stood out at night, and of course, Florida weather helps when you have the clouds in the background and everything, the lightning flashes, and it just really sets the mood a little bit better. So stay in the park later, be able to see things at night. Celestial Park lights up at night. I mean, it says Celestial for a reason. It's a beautiful park right in the middle. And everything just built on lights, pretty much is what it seems like. So again, don't miss the intricate details. Really take your time in each land, look around, see what's being built. It's very much immersive. Disney does this very well too. Like, when you're walking through certain lanes, you see like footprints on the ground. I noticed that we were walking by Curse the Werewolf, and I'm pretty sure I saw werewolf tracks on the ground, which is actually pretty cool. So back to the daytime here. My second to last detail here is drink water. Drink plenty of water, bring plenty of sunblock, because let me tell you right now, there is no shade like in other parks that we've been to around Orlando. Whoever designed this park really, I guess they just forgot that they were putting it in Orlando, because it gets hot, it gets muggy. But the one saving grace and the one really big difference that I think that really stood out for me was the availability of refill stations for water available. So definitely bring a Yeti, bring a water flask, whatever you got to do. There are plenty of opportunities, so you don't have to rely solely on them to provide like a water cup or anything. And that really is it. The only other thing I would say is that weather definitely will play a part. So like Dave said before, try to get into Minecart Madness early, because that is an outdoor ride, and definitely it will close down, as we almost experienced the fifth try we tried to ride that ride. So just understand that. Bring an umbrella, bring a rain jacket, drink plenty of water, and plenty of sunblock during the day. And those are my tips. Okay.